You want to know why Africa is poor? Here is why. In the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, the Bible says this. Then God said, let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground. So God created human beings, 27, in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and the female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and governs it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the bird in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground. When God created a man, he created him in his own image, to be like him. The image of God here, it literally means the character of God, the nature of God. He decided, God, to extend himself in a human being form, and he created you. In the coming chapter, the Bible says that the God breathed the breath into human body. That means God, he took part of himself and he put in you. So when you look yourself in the mirror, you are the image of God, like God, not God, but like God, because you are owning, you are carrying the character, the presence, the glory of God in you. The glory of God in you. But that's not the secret why Africa is poor. The reason why Africa is poor, because he didn't just create a man, but he gave them the dominion, the rulership, the kingship over the birds in the skies, the fish in the seas, the livestock, wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry around along the ground. All these things the Bible is mentioning here, there's no human being there, but it's mentioning the resources. God, he created you and he gave you a dominion, to be a dominator, to be a controller over the resources. The only single job that God gave to a man, Africans, we are not doing it. We're not controlling it. We're not dominating it. We're not reigning. We're not managing our own resources. Someone else does for us. That's why they are successful. That's why they are rich. That's why they are developed. And we're still where we are today, because we are not responsible. We are not doing the single job that gave us. God did not create a man to dominate, to control another man. That's why slavery is wrong. That's why racism is wrong. It's a sin. Because you tell another man that I am superior than you, therefore you'll be my slave. It's a sin. It's wrong. It's not accepted. But God created you to dominate, to control over the resources. If Africa today decide to control and manage their resources, its own resources they have, the life in Africa will change. The development in Africa, it will be extremely amazing, high, because that is the only job. That's what God designed us to do. If our leaders will wake up today in Africa and stop managing, controlling, and governing and dominating people, instead, they should control, manage, dominate, govern, and reign over the resources. That's the only job you have as a leader. Not to lead people. I don't see that in the Bible. I don't see that here. When God was creating the world, he put you there to manage, to control, to dominate over the resources. Not me. That's why it's wrong today when you see different agenda imposing to us. You see LGBTQ. You see this and this, that agenda. That you must do it. You must go ahead and do it. You must go ahead. Basically what happened is men taking authority of God himself and dominating over another man. Don't tell me what to do, because you're not my dominator. You're not my creator. You're not my God. So why God created a man like him? Because God, he is the creator of a man. He dominates a man. He controls a man. Even though he has given us the free will to do whatever we want to do. But there will be a consequence at the end of the day, because he is God who created you. He designed you for a specific purpose. So if you don't do it, there will be a consequences one day. It's your choice to do that. But also he has given us the same thing, the controllership, the dominion, the ruler. He gave us, that ability is in us already, but only to dominate, to control the resources. So if someone else comes to Africa to dominate and control the resources, that means all the blessings that come with it is not coming to us. It comes to the man who understands the domination over the resources. We have Africans today who hate Christianity because they say that's what brought slavery in Africa. You can hate the messenger, but don't hate the message. These guys, they already knew. They had that conscience. They knew that the only task and responsibility man has been given is to control, is to dominate the resources. That's why when they came, they say they discovered Africa and all the richness in Africa. And they had a meeting in Berlin to come and to control and to divide Africa like a piece of cake so that they can dominate their resources in Africa. African, you do not mean anything to them, but your resources mean everything to them. And that's why today they can come to you and kill you on the spot if you try to stop them from taking your resources. We have a lot of leaders who were killed because they stood for our country. We have Gaddafi, he was killed because he was protecting the resources of Libya. We have Sankara, he was killed because he was protecting the resources of Burkina Faso. We have Lumumba because he was protecting the resources of his own country, Congo, and so many other leaders, you can name them. They died because they were protecting their resources of their country. Are these people who are coming to Africa to control, to dominate the resources, are they doing the wrong thing? The answer will shock you. No, they're doing the right thing. They're doing exactly what they were designed to do. We are the one that does the wrong thing because we allow it for someone else who is not the owner of our house to come and to manage our resources for us. That's why our contract is not the same. It's 15% to another percent, because we have given them the dominion. We have given them the leadership. We have given them the power over us. You want to have power? You want to change your continent? Start managing your own resources. Start focusing on your own resources. Start discovering your own resources. I'll say this, whoever discovers your resources owns you, because that's where the real power is. And you're only standing in the way. That's why Africa, we've been talking for 4 years to unite, but it's not happening because someone else is standing at the middle. It's controlling the resources. And it's not going to happen unless we decide to manage our own resources. Today, Africa, we have a lot of military bases here, foreign military bases. Even Chinese are here. Everybody's here. They're here to dominate. They're not here to help you, Africa. They're here to dominate your resources. And you have given that power to them. You want Africa to change? You want Africa to feed herself? Look at what God created. He created, if you continue to read in the book of Genesis, he created, look at this. He say this. Then God, in verse 29, then God said, look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given you every green plant as food for all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, and the small animals that scurry around the ground. He has given everything for the food, but Africa today, we are dying because of hunger. We say we do not have food, and we beg for WHO to bring food to Africa. The World Organization of Food, to bring food to Africa to save our people, while God has already given us everything we need to feed our people. The problem, where is the problem? What is the problem? Because our leaders, they stop focusing on managing and dominating the resources. Instead, they're focusing on managing and controlling people. God's designed plan is not for you to lead people. You ain't going to lead people. You don't even know where you are going. Where are you going to lead them? You only lead people when you know where you are going. But you don't know, because you don't even know when you're going to die. If you die today, the nation dies. You don't know. You're not leading people. God is the one who leads people, because he knows where we are going. He knows our beginning, and he's the beginning and the end. He knows our destiny. He knows where we're going. He knows our future. He knows everything about that. He is the leader. He is the one leading people. Our job is to manage and to guide the resources he has given us, and that is God's designed plan for a human being. Africans, we must wake up today and start managing, dominating, controlling, leading our own resources. If we do that, the poverty will be gone in Africa. We're not going to see a single day of poverty in Africa. We're not going to see our people dying because of food, because we'll not be on the table to negotiate, but we'll be on the table to demand and to give directions. Today, Africa, we're sitting on the table with them. We negotiate that, oh, please, would you give us 49%? Would you give us 20? Please just add one more. We're demanding. We have been beggar. We have been slave for so long time. The slavery mentality must end today. And we must sit on the table with demanding policies. But we cannot do that if we do not manage, control, and dominate our own resources. If they do it, we're going to keep begging. This is why Africa is poor.